me.
And we're live.
All right.
I'm going to adjust this a little bit. Table's at like a weird angle there. Yeah, we're live. I'm going to grab a coffee.
What do you mean you won't grab?
You can grab your coffee when we're live?
See, folks, this is a problem.
Yeah.
Like, he's never prepared.
He's not professional, unfortunately.
Ever.
Yep.
How many times, go back through every video, how many times has he been the first one, or even on here when the video starts?
And here's the weird thing. He starts the video.
He starts the video.
Yeah. He could have been like, let me go.
What are you guys bickering about now?
He also always says before we record, I gotta go shit.
This is true.
He takes himself a little poop break before he
I do.
records.
I do. I
He
have
gets
to.
ready.
I mean, I do it to save the rest of y'all from the smell.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Now, before we start this week, you know our grading score, right? 1 through 5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
1
it
through
is
5.
1 through
Listen,
5.
sorry, I'm eating the last of the candy canes here. It's my last candy cane for the Christmas season.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, last week I made a boo-boo, and
I loved it. How many did Jazz foist on you for the candy canes? Because she kept trying to get me to take candy canes.
none of them, like, I don't have a problem eating them.
You
Okay.
just took them on your own.
I'm just not a candy cane guy.
I'm not a candy person.
Candy canes are the candy corn of the Christmas
You
season.
get out.
Candy corn is
I will
disgusting.
fight
Ryan.
it, like, hands on sight.
I just don't like. Now, if I was in prison, I'd love a candy cane because that's an addiction. you could stab somebody to death and then eat the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what do you get from?
Well, you wash it under something first. I mean,
What would you wash it under? Like, that's a lot of process, like step.
Good
Like,
God,
yeah,
man.
then you have to find somewhere to wash it. Then you have
I'm
to
stabbing
eat it.
them near a spricket. They gotta have sprickets. When the prisoners get unruly and you need someplace to
I don't
plug in
think,
the hose.
I feel like they
I
don't.
feel
That's
like
not access
That's
granted
not.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well, who
don't
knows?
think that's a thing anymore.
So this is our last episode
Of the year. So yeah. Woo!
I think we're gonna probably take next week off. It is
Yeah.
it's a light week next week.
Yeah.
So we're
but-
probably gonna take a week off, guys.
But that still doesn't give you any excuse not to be here Tuesday night.
Having a big
Tuesday night,
New Year's Day party.
starting
Uh-oh.
at New Year's
Whoop,
Eve.
whoop.
Yeah, starting
New
at
Year's
10
Eve,
p.m. and we're going all the way till 1 a.m.
I think so.
Yeah,
So-
I'm not.
It's gonna be fun, guys. Definitely be here. Our buddy Deegan Poochcourse will be here as well, signing and doing remarks for people. He does a really cool blacklight remark.
And
so
we are
Wait,
actually
he does a
going-
black light.
Yeah, we
remark?
actually went and we have black lights we bought, and that's gonna be available to show some of his artwork and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Mhm.
So
yeah, so
Definitely not using those in my bedroom.
This is a
again,
safe
our
for
the first
show,
comment
Ryan.
though is TMI. That was the first comment.
This is a safe for work show.
The hell
Ryan.
it is.
Jesus.
But yeah, no, that's super cool. I wonder that would be awesome to see those.
They're really neat.
Yeah.
They're really neat.
I can say Comics Exchange. I believe as of right now we're going to be closed on New Year's Day. But we will be having a podcast episode drop. We're doing on the podcast right now, Comics Exchange podcast. We're doing the best of the year in 3 issue episodes. We're going to do DC this week. We're going to talk about all the DC books. So check that out. Do we have anything else that's coming this weekend? I know Comic Exchange doesn't. Does Nirvana have Power Rangers this weekend?
That's next week.
That's next week.
That's
Okay, all right.
yes. We are going to have them here on the. Let me check my calendar just to make sure I'm not giving the wrong.
He's
date.
got a calendar now, guys.
Yeah, it gets intense. Yes, January 10th. They're going to be here for a couple hours doing signatures and everything. You can find all the information on our social media accounts, Facebook, things like that. But yeah, it's gonna be great. Gonna have a good time with that. So.
The cool thing is they're doing the Power Ranger morph pictures
Yeah.
you can get together.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that when they go like that? Is that how Power Rangers morph?
That's Street Fighter.
That's-
What's a
Well,
Power
and that's a
Ranger?
Kamehameha.
Yeah,
What's that?
Kamehameha.
I don't know. I feel like it's
That's
different.
Kamehameha.
Different.
I thought Power Rangers do like that.
Well, they do.
They
But
do,
it's like,
but
yeah.
Like that. Yeah, that's how mine would be. I'd be freaking lazy. I just want to get to the Zord.
Yeah.
Does anyone know
Yeah.
what Power Rangers do?
Yeah.
We're loopy about
Nolan,
it.
I
if you're
feel
out
like-
there, tell us.
I feel like there's different iterations for like each
Yeah.
thing.
Power Rangers were like, I just barely missed the Power Rangers. Like
Yeah.
I was like too old at that point.
Well, I was big on the old school. Like
I was the
original.
perfect age.
Okay.
Yeah, you're still the perfect age.
And height.
And height. Yeah, but no, I mean, if you want to know, come out on January 10th and ask, find out. They'll be
Yeah.
here.
yeah, that'll be
Yeah.
good.
And big stuff coming. in the new year for.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
got some big things planned for this show. We got some big things for the shops, everything.
Everything.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good year.
Good year in Knoxville for comics.
Very
yeah.
much so.
Yeah, I mean, and there are still, like I said, still some big books coming out this coming week. So definitely make sure you're prepared to get your books.
Yes, definitely stop by, get your books, and yeah.
Yeah,
Let's get this show
let's get some
rolling.
reviews because we're gonna end this with best of the year.
We are ending the show this day with the best of
With
the
this
year.
With this day. Thank you, good sir. We'll
Yes.
see you. Have a good morrow. We'll see you.
Cheer. And we're gonna do these reviews. We're gonna kind of
We're gonna do a speed review pretty much.
and I think that's probably worthy for these books.
Yeah.
Do we want to start with the
Yeah.
highlight of the week?
I think we need to just start. Let's go. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, that's the first one we're booming because I can't see.
The first one we're booming is Tom Slide.
All right, so not the best book of the week. Okay, all right. Who wants to start Time Slide?
I'll start it.
Okay.
Time Slide. Very fun book. Very just. You got Cable and you got Bishop.
You get
It's,
Cable
it's
Bishop,
pretty.
yeah.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Time traveling, trying to save the timeline.
Maybe they're gonna become friends.
Maybe
now.
they're going to become friends. Maybe not. Who knows?
Yep.
It is a one shot.
Yeah.
But it's kind of. Excuse me, I had a burp. We have. It's just showing what's to come, basically, because there is a new Cable book coming out this upcoming week.
Yeah,
that I
because
think that
Blood and Chrome.
Yeah, that I think intertwines with Time
With this,
Slide here.
yeah.
So it's a good prequel setup for the new.
And I think it's is it a first appearance, that villain in there?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
it is first appearance new villain.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of crazy. I think these villains now are just getting overpowered.
Way
In my
overpowered
opinion.
villains, yeah.
Like if the villain literally just sucks up timeline. I'm
Agreed.
like, this is the dumbest
I
thing.
like when he eats the time. It's a cool concept
Yeah, the
for a
concept's
villain.
cool, but it's like, how,
He's
like,
just like, yum yum, give me some.
yeah, but I'm just like, what is it like?
Yeah.
Who like he just literally there's one panel where he like goes and sucks up the Dark Phoenix and the Phoenix Force.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
My thing with these books, because they do them every year, like they had been doing them with Krang. Every year with Kane.
Yeah.
Krang, not Krang, that would be
Oh,
weird.
well,
So this book is almost, it's not this poorly, but it's almost like a glorified previews.
Yeah.
Because you get to see timelines in there with art from those books. Like
Yeah.
there's a cover from Wolverine, I think 5, where it's
Yeah.
like the Queen's cover,
Yeah.
the Queen cover. You get the list of the 8 deaths. It's almost like they used to back in the day. They did this thing where there was like a chalkboard and it had all the things on
Yeah.
there to let you know what's coming up.
Yeah.
It's a neat idea. It's a fun book. I don't know if it warrants the price tag on the
Absolutely not.
book.
Absolutely.
Because
not.
it is a lot of reading.
It is a lot of reading, and like I said, it's mainly like a preview thing. It's almost like, because Marvel keeps doing those must-haves, those free reprints. This almost feels like they should have done this as one of those and get people hyped for what's coming.
Yeah.
It's almost like a free comic book day book, almost in a way to me. What did you think, Matt?
I'm gonna be real. I didn't care. Like,
Okay.
this was a very hard book to get through for me because I just didn't care about what was going on. I understand that I guess this might have some implications in the future, but I doubt it.
Okay.
I don't know. It just, the whole thing felt very pointless to me. The art was good.
Yeah.
The standout of this book is definitely the art, but then again, with the $7 price, I'm just like, really? No.
Yeah.
So it was not for me.
All right, let's review it. What are you thinking?
Kind of middle of the road. 3.
3? Okay.
Yeah, 3 Caleb's. I'm not like it. Like I said, it's a fun book. It was fun to read, but it's just one I don't like because I don't really have an interest. It didn't want to drive me forward to read the next Cable.
Yeah, the only thing it did for me is after I finished reading it, I went on a site to see where all the hints were supposed to be about. And that's really probably all you really have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I give it 2.5 Caleb time traveling Caleb's. I think if you kind of want to get a sneak peek and you like the whole like trying to figure out what each thing means, you like the funness of that, or you just like to collect first appearances, that's probably a book for you. But for me, the price point is a little out there, 2.5.
Me, I'm gonna give it a 1.5. I just really didn't.
He's
care.
trying to match your new gods.
I
now.
just really didn't
he's
care.
trying to-
I mean, spoiler alert! Like this
He's gonna
week,
come in next week with glasses and a ponytail.
Spoiler alert.
extensions.
spoiler
He's
alert!
got like lifts on his shoes.
Spoiler alert! This was a rough week, guys. This was a rough
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for me, 1.5 Caleb's.
1.5. All right.
Next, we will do Metamorpho.
All right, I'll do this one. So here's the thing, Metamorpho. If you like the what's Aldrich, the Mad Men.
Yeah.
If you like his books, if you like Lieber's books, if you like the whole like kind of throwback to the 70s kind of comics and stuff like that, this book is definitely going to be for you. There's Solar Justice, which cracked me up on the second page.
Yeah.
But I think if you're not hip to all of that, you may not enjoy this as much. Everybody is definitely talking in kind of a fake hipster type way from those kind of books. Again, it's just like Mad Men or Madman and all his books. So this one is tough. Metamorpho is a cool character. And hey, McKay.
Hey, McKay.
Are you leaving?
No.
Okay.
I'm just aggravated.
Okay.
He's aggravating us.
Oh yeah, I'm about to leave in a minute.
Yeah. Mac's going to grab. But I say, like, if you're old school, you probably will like it. I think for newer readers, your miles may vary. Josh?
I like the fact that it was kind of, you still had Metamorpho, like, still has his girlfriend.
Yep.
Like, there's you know, but the dynamic of, like, her, I guess, is her dad?
Her dad is Simon Stagg, who's like a villain in the DC
and
universe.
but it didn't really feel like,
they didn't treat him like a villain.
yeah, I didn't feel like there was really any, what's the word,
Stakes?
stakes. Yeah,
Okay.
there wasn't any kind of like stake in the book. Like you didn't feel like, you know, there wasn't really anything going on.
Yeah.
Besides Metamorpho and the other Metamorphosis.
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 I like the caveman.
Yeah.
I like how caveman's like, I didn't brag when I've been in fire.
yeah. But I mean, it was a fun book. I mean, it was again, like DC for me such a hit and miss with some books.
Yeah. Am I glad that they're taking a swing for the fence and bringing out a book of
100%.
not like a popular character?
100%.
Yeah, of course.
I just wish it would have been a little bit more. Like, I like it when they go a little bit more with like darker stories. I feel like
DC does better with that.
Yeah, but I feel like Metamorpho would have been a perfect, like, dark story.
Yeah.
To go with.
If you like science, it's fine.
Yeah.
Mac?
This is another one for me, guys. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I fell asleep reading this book. I don't have any history with the character of Metamorpho. I don't have any history with the character of Metamorpho. This is the first thing I've ever read with Metamorpho. I don't, I'm of that younger generation, so I didn't get any of the references.
Okay.
I didn't, it just did not work for me, like, at all. And like I said, I legitimately fell asleep reading this book.
Okay. Wow, these reviews are going to be interesting.
So
I'll start. I'm going to give it, if you don't really follow a lot of that stuff, I think it's 2.5 element dogs. Caleb the element dogs.
The elephant dog.
But I would say if you like Mike Aldred and you like the kind of books with that kind of fun, silly tone, it's probably like a 3.5. But I'd say like just for average people, it's probably 2.5.
Yeah. Same thing for me. 2.5 for me. Like I said, it's still one of the, like, it's a fun book to read.
Yeah.
If you like Metamorpho, if you like reading, if you're wanting to read something that's not mainline to DC, like Superman or Batman, like Metamorpho is just a good one to pick up, just for a palate cleanser.
Yeah, I'm not going to read any more of it, but yeah. And Sleepy.
For me, guys, I'm gonna be really mean. I'm giving this book a 1.
Okay.
Because, like,
it sucks that Grant and Jazz
the
invested
thing.
all their money in this book.
Here's the thing.
Give it a 1.
Here's the thing. Like, this book over here, at least I didn't fall asleep. This one, I literally fell asleep reading that book. That has never happened to me before when reading a comic book. I was wide awake.
Yeah.
I had my coffee. I was, like, sitting there trying to read it, and I just kept dozing off because I was so bored.
Yeah.
But I totally get the appeal. I totally get the appeal. I'm not saying don't read this book. If you're interested, definitely read it.
Yeah.
But if you're kind of the younger generation like myself, or don't have like a lot of history with it, you're mileage is going to vary.
Let's go to the last book, and hopefully we're
Thank
going to do this one.
Well, okay,
God.
yeah.
This is
your
Josh's
Spider
book.
Boy.
I'm going to be honest with you. I love this.
Okay.
book. I love this book so much.
Yeah.
I don't. It's honestly got it's so much fun
Yeah.
because I love the dialogue between Kidpool and Spider Boy. Like that last page.
Yeah.
I was in tears laughing. So
Yeah. They work well off each other.
Yeah, 100%. I like the villain that was in this book. I like.
Oh, she was fantastic.
Yeah, 100%. And honestly, I thought it should have been more of like a Valentine.
Oh, it would have been perfect.
It would have been
then,
perfect for that. But yeah, you have you have Kidpool wanting to be with Spider Boy, and it played really well off each other.
So Kidpool is a girl in the Marvel
Yeah,
universe,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because I think in the movie,
And she's
Kidpool was played by Ryan Reynolds' daughter. Right? Yeah.
So I think that there's kind of just going off that too.
Yeah.
But man, it was such a fun read, and it was one of those reads. Also, it's just kind of fun for all ages.
Yeah.
And it's. I can't rave about it enough. It was really good. I laughed through the whole thing, and I was kind of, and for me, Deadpool as a character has kind of fallen off for me a little bit. So I was a little nervous about this. I was a little nervous. I was like, well, I'm not. I'm a little nervous.
I have to take them in like little doses.
Yeah, and so I was a little nervous. I was like, Spider Boy's in it, reading it, don't care.
Yeah.
And as I read, I was like, this is great. And I would love to see more of her, like.
She's fantastic.
Yeah, I love to see more of her. And I love the fact that her dark guns are explosive.
Yeah. And I like the fact that it did keep the whole fourth wall breaking. I thought there was some clever fourth wall breaking in there. The new villain, I assume it's the first appearance of this villain. There's a mad scientist. She loves dinosaurs. I mean, not loves dinosaurs. Loves dinosaurs.
Loves dinosaurs.
She they do great with Spider Boy and Kidpool's chemistry together is great. The chemistry between Spider-Man, Deadpool, and everybody like that was good too.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a fun read. I looked at the size of the book and okay, this is probably gonna be two sessions for me.
Yeah.
I read it all in one. I had dogs whining for me to play with them, and I was like, no.
You son of a bitch.
But I thought it was fun. It's so good, and with your hype, I'm probably going to start reading Spider Boy. I think the first 2 trades are out.
Yeah,
I think
there's
I'm gonna
3 of them.
And like for instance, like the villain, well, because there's technically 2 villains in here.
Yeah.
One of them that's one of Spider Boy's rogue gallery.
The mad scientist lady.
No,
Or
the other
Thorin?
one, the Sturgo.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
it's like one of his rogues gallery, and it's like so it's just it's very Spider Boy's. I can't read it.
Yeah, and it was cool too because is this the first Spider Boy that's not written by his creator?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, because this is Chris Yost, right?
Yes.
And he does a phenomenal job in it. I'd say this is also a book like if you're looking for something for your kids to read. Spider Boy's probably
Spider Boy's perfect. Spider Boy.
This is too.
Yeah, this is an excellent. Like it's like I said, it's for all ages.
Yep.
But it also like with this book, there's enough references in it where it'll also make adults.
There's a
cackle.
point where Deadpool has blown his arm off, but because he knows he's in a all general audience's book, you never see that.
You never see it. No.
Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah, man. I hated this book. No, I'm just kidding. No, this book.
You're about to get the chop from
This
both of us.
book. This book saved me this week because these two, whatever. This book was great. I am like Ryan, where I haven't read hardly any Spider-Boy. So this book was a very good breath of fresh air. I really enjoyed how fun it was. I did not fall asleep reading this book.
Good.
Like you, Josh, I was laughing the whole time. I got all the references. I thought it was just a really great overall book, and especially in a week where we read these 2 other things. This book really, like, I'm glad that I read this book like last.
Because you would have read this book also if we didn't.
If we didn't do this book, I would not have read this book.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really glad that we chose it to read because I think it's great. It's a great story, great action, and like Josh was saying, this is something you can actually like give to your kids.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead. I will give Cadepool and Spider Boy a 4.5.
Okay. I'm gonna give it. Hang on, I'm trying to think of a fun pun. I can't think of one. I'm gonna give it 4.5 Caleb hyphen puppies.
Caleb Pools.
Yeah, Caleb puppies. Because he's a kid. Puppies.
Yeah.
Mine's 5.
Yeah.
Hands down 5 for me. Like I said, Spider Boy right now is one of my favorite characters. And anything he's in, I'm gonna pick up and read.
Well
it.
worth the
And,
price.
yeah, it is
Mhm.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
For the price, it's definitely it's like I said, a lot of heart, a lot of laughs. It's just fun.
Yeah, this one's great. This one's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are our reviews for this week. So now we are actually going to move on to our
We're moving on.
moving on to our favorite books.
So guys, we got
Of the
we
year.
each picked 5 books that we thought for individually we thought did really well for the 2024 year.
Mhm.
Ones that we really enjoyed reading, and yeah. So we're going to start off with that. Ryan, do you want to start?
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, it's the tip of the iceberg.
It really
Yeah.
is.
I mean, we have altogether 6 times 3 is carry the 18.
Yeah.
We have 18 books here that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
I could have easily done like another.
I
Oh,
could've
100%.
easily
Like
done-
I could,
Yeah.
like I had to make sure I didn't have other like.
Yeah, we
It-
tried our best to not have ones that
Yeah,
each of us had, which really made me mad with this one.
yeah.
Because you have one that it's literally
I
at the
get
top
it.
of my list.
I get it.
But Josh
I
said
picked Daredevil just to
no.
be a bastard.
Josh said no,
Yeah.
you're not allowed to have the same book. And I said, well, fuck.
Do we want to do honorable mentions first?
We can do honorable
Let's
mentions.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
all
do
we're gonna
honorable
do.
mentions.
All right, so mine is, we couldn't find the trade. I think there's a trade floating around here somewhere. If not, any store you go to can order this for you. This is the one hand. It's basically the one hand and the sixth finger. So basically,
You can put it up on your.
yeah, it's a detective.
No, on yours.
Oh, okay. So I was not told of any of this. So it's basically the one hand is the detective that's trying to hunt down the serial killer, the sixth finger, and the sister book to this, the sixth finger, is from the serial killer's POV.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, and it's kind of interesting too because it's a cyberpunkish world, but it's very light on what the cyberpunkness is. You will never guess the ending to this book, but both of these books, one by Ram V and the other by Dan Waters, who also did that Creature of the Black Lagoon this year. It's phenomenal. They work well together. I'm curious to see with the trade how the reading order for this is supposed to go, but it was essentially 2 5-issue miniseries that combined 2 of the hottest writers right now in the business working together on this really cool concept. What's your
Sweet. So my honorable mention is none other than Transformers. So
Which is crazy. That's an honorable mention. First.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, right.
go ahead.
Transformers. It started late last year. Okay, but as far as like an ongoing that's been carrying over to this year from last year, I would say this is the best ongoing.
Yeah.
Because oh my god, every issue of Transformers continues to just be balls to the walls action, edge of your seat. I mean, you never know what's going to happen next. I mean, they literally do things in this that you're not expecting, and every new issue that comes out, whenever there's a new issue, it is always on the top of my reading stack for the week. Because so yeah, if you're looking, if you are a Transformers fan, this is a must read.
Yeah.
Like, pick up the trades. There's this trade, and
I think there's 3 out.
There's
three-
two.
There's
out.
two
There's
trades
2
out
trades
right now.
out with a third one coming in the next few months. So definitely, if you haven't been reading Transformers, definitely get caught up and then add it to your pull list because you do not want to miss it. It is awesome.
Josh?
My honorable mention is Ain't No Grave.
It's another good one.
Yes, Scotty Young. I love westerns.
Yeah.
And I feel like westerns don't get enough love.
They don't.
This book right here is great.
Yeah,
It hit all the P's and Q's for me.
Yeah.
Again, I think did we talk about this last week? No, we didn't talk about this last week. Who was I talking
We
to?
did. We talked because we
A
talked
little
about the gunslinger.
Yeah, that's right.
Briefly,
Yeah, that's what we did
briefly,
briefly. But yeah, it was one for me. It was a really fun read. I couldn't put it down when I started.
Yeah.
And it's again Scotty Young.
Yeah, Scotty Young is killing it, and this is like Scotty Young writing with
Yeah.
who's the artist?
Jorge Corona.
Yep.
I think this is their third time working together.
Yeah, because they also did Middle West.
Middle West and the darkness that loves you or something like that.
Yeah. So I'd really like to see just more. I mean, not even for this book, but I'd just like to see more westerns in general.
Yeah, I think you guys used your Image Spirit Award thing
for this
to get the right one. Yeah, I think it was.
Do you
right
want
one.
me to give an unpopular opinion?
No. We're trying to make friends with Scotty Young. Damn it.
Yeah. All right. Next book.
All right. So now we'll do our fifth. We'll each go through our fifth.
We'll do our
so that way
fifth.
we're not all just sitting here talking. So my fifth is actually I have the fifth issue here. TMNT. So I think IDW saw like how big Transformers and G.I. Joe got once they lost the licenses and decided never again Satan. So they went out and they hired Jason Aaron. Yep. Jason Aaron to help revitalize the TMNT. It does start after issue 150, but what I've liked about this book so far is it's made it easy to follow kind of what's happened, the big story beats.
Yeah.
And each issue up to now has been following one character. The first four was one book per turtle, and the fifth one was Casey Jones, and I guess the big bad of the book who's like their version of the Kingpin.
Yeah.
I've really dug the book. I like how each issue so far has had like its own kind of beat to it. Leonardo's was great with him like just on the beach, like doing a lot of like meditating.
Yeah.
And Donatello's almost broke my heart.
Yeah, Donatello's was a rough one.
Yep, and each issue's had a different artist too. Really cool variant covers if you're into that kind of thing. And I'm curious because issue 6 is going to be the proper actual start of the book. Like the first 5 are almost like a prelude. But I think IDW learned their lesson, and they're not just trying to do generic cash grabs now with their trademark books.
TMNT was great. So my fifth book is not up here because I can't find it, but it is
so sad.
But it is Dark Spaces Dungeon.
Does it even exist?
By Scott Snyder and
Is it Hayden Sherman?
Yes, it was Hayden Sherman. It was Dark Spaces Dungeon by Scott Snyder with art by Hayden Sherman.
Who's killing it on
Absolute Wonder Woman. Yeah. Shout out Absolute Wonder Woman. Phenomenal book. But Dark Spaces Dungeon is a horror book that will F you up.
Yeah, the final page is...
Remember, because when I finished that book, I texted Ryan immediately at like 3 a.m. Was like, "Have you read this?
Can you hold me?
Can you hold me?"
It
is nuts. I love it though.
Yeah.
So it's basically about a prisoner, and he gets kidnapped. He gets kidnapped. He's trying to. So this guy who was kidnapped as a child escapes. But then his son gets kidnapped by who he believes is the same person.
Yeah.
Okay, and oh my god, it throws things at you that you're never going to see coming.
Yeah.
And it blew my mind.
Yeah.
So
it's basically the person who's capturing these kids and tortures them in these dungeons.
Yeah, tortures them in their dungeons.
They can move like the bricks around to where you can barely move.
Yeah, like it's like gets you really.
He waits till you're healed and then he tortures you again.
What are y'all reading?
Yeah, it's torture, dude.
It's a dark book.
It's a very dark book.
Maybe the best non-superhero thing Scott Snyder's done.
Quite American Vampire, I would have to say. But
right.
Yes, this is up there with some of Scott Snyder's best work. So
you
yeah,
can tell from how great that cover looks.
If you're looking for something dark and something that you're not expecting, Dark Spaces Dungeon. So definitely check that one out.
Josh,
speaking of dark, Somna.
Dark. That's the one that's dark and sexy, right?
Dark and sexy.
Oh.
Distillery. This was one of my favorites for the year. Also, won the Eisner.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes place during the Salem witch trials.
Oh.
And has a lot to deal with that. I don't want to spoil too much because I'd love for y'all to come in and get it and try it out and read it. It is very graphic.
You need to be this is not a book for children.
No, it is.
Do
it's
not buy
100%
this
not.
for your children.
Yeah.
But it is a really good read. It is a really good one. Like if you're into, I mean, even if you're just into kind of like history.
Mhm.
So, a lot of things dealing with like possession and witches
Okay.
and things
I would
like
say for
It's
this
Becky
one, be
Cloonan?
18.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, 17 or 18.
17 or 18 for this
Yeah.
one,
that.
definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
And I like to Distillery with their trades are doing like the bigger pages
Yeah.
too, right?
I mean, and the art in this is beautiful.
Yeah,
We'd
yeah,
love
yeah.
to show you,
Beautiful
but we
art.
can't.
I cannot show you. Like I said, it's a very graphic book. But the story is well. Let me see if I can just find one page. It's not.
Well, that cover alone is
I mean,
One
the,
he
cover-
opened-
the first
one
one,
he
the
opened
first
to.
one, the first stinking page.
Can we show penises on this show?
No, it wasn't that.
It wasn't that.
But I mean, for
I just
instance,
thought it
like
was
here's
funny.
one right here. Like for
It's the
instance, just like
first-
that old, like that dark kind of looking,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like painted
Yeah,
on there
yeah,
almost.
That's probably about the most safe for work page in that entire book.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, you know who I wish we do a Distillery book just because of how good the art looks there? Mark Spears.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like, I would love to see
Mark
his art in
Spears,
that
buddy,
bigger
if-
book.
if-
Yeah.
I will email Distillery personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love Mark. Mark's Monsters book is phenomenal, too.
Yep.
Love
All right,
that
what you got
book.
next, Ryan?
All right, I have, I'm going with the Ultimates.
Great choice.
This is issue 4. It's a variant cover. So the Ultimates, when it first started, right, I didn't really dig it as much. Like, the first 2 issues felt like almost like a standard, like, oh, this could almost have been done in the regular Marvel universe.
Mhm.
It's just like, but then the 3rd issue pops in, and it's essentially She-Hulk, but it's an island that they tested all the nuclear bombs and shit on, and basically she got the powers, but some of them got stuff like
Yes.
their skin was inside out.
Yeah, it's very messed up.
Very messed up. And then issue 4, we talk about Darkest Dungeon leaving us like speechless. Issue 4 stuck with me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Issue 5 was a cool twist on Hawkeye. I haven't read the current issue 7.
Oh.
I know issue 8
It's
is going to have
wild.
Ultimate Cosmos first appearance.
Yeah,
I'm
because
excited about that.
I think issue 8 is the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
issue, so.
But this is the book that really, when they were launching the Ultimates books, the one I wasn't the most sure about because
Same.
I didn't know Dennis Camps.
Yeah.
I didn't know him. But now I love everything that this man is doing. This is the second best Ultimate book.
The funny thing about Ultimates is when it started, I read the first issue and it was like, meh.
Yeah.
And then I stopped reading it, and Josh was like, "Have
Yeah.
you been reading the Ultimates?"
I
And
like
I'm
how
like,
he bends.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I mean, he has to get eye
No,
level
I
with
get
me,
it.
which is
Yeah.
like 5 feet
Yeah.
lower. But he's like, "Have you been reading the Ultimates,
It's
boy?"
like I'm talking to a kindergartner. Have you read anything today?
It's so funny because Comic Exchange podcast I do with Mike D.
Yeah.
Mike D was about to drop the book after the first 2 issues because
Yeah.
he was like, "There's just too much stuff to read.
Yeah,
This is like
I was.
just." I was like, "You're a fool."
But man,
Yeah.
I'm
Read 3,
so,
read 4.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad that Josh
yeah.
got me to pick up the
I mean,
issues, and I've been continuing it ever
It's
since.
just really.
It's
I
great.
think, like I said, Ultimates is
Is there a
one
trade
of-
yet for Ultimates?
No.
not yet. No, not
Okay.
yet.
Not yet.
But Ultimates looks like it's also going to be a important book for what they're doing
Yes.
in the Ultimate Universe. Ultimates is amazing. Mac.
My next book is Rook Exodus. So obviously Distillery was a new publisher this year, but now we also have a new imprint from Image
Yep.
called Distillery, and they've done Geiger, Rook
You mean
Exodus,
not Distillery.
or
Ghost Machine.
Ghost Machine. It's Geiger, Rook Exodus, Hyde Street, all those books. My favorite by far has been Rook Exodus. Rook Exodus just finished up their first 6-issue arc. There's not a trade out yet, but there is going to be soon. So this book takes place in the future, and the humans have basically fled Earth, and they've developed a technology that lets them control wildlife.
Yeah.
And it goes terrible, as you can imagine. And so everything is messed up. This is the dark, gritty sci-fi story that I've been wanting. Just the technology alone in this book, like the way they're able to create these new characters, it just blows my mind. Jason Fabok is the artist, and the art in this book out of all of the Ghost Machine books, this one, in my opinion, has the best art.
Yeah.
So I would definitely, if you're into sci-fi, I would definitely pick up Ghost Machine's Rook Exodus, because it is phenomenal.
Yeah, and I like that they're doing it too, where they're letting the artist get caught up before they bring it back.
Yes.
I think the artist is important. For
This
that
one, this one is on break until I think March.
Yeah.
Is when the next issue comes out. So there's plenty of time to get caught up on the first. I think it's 5 or 6 issues is the first arc, but the first arc was amazing. I'm so ready to read more. So.
Yep.
My next
Gosh.
book now, I don't feel like I could close the year off right if I did not have a Godzilla book in here.
I get it.
I get it. That was
Justice
almost on my
League
list.
versus Godzilla versus Kong. Buddy.
Insane.
Insane book. So when this first started, I was like, this is the most gimmicky thing I have ever heard of in my life.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do this? Like,
Yeah.
I have,
same.
like, I was kind of sad.
Yeah.
Then I picked up the first issue, and my
Oh my
world changed. I was like, why has there not been more of these?
Yeah.
It was a really, really good book. I honestly, I want a movie.
Yeah.
And it takes place within the MonsterVerse, so this is actually like the Godzilla and the Kong and all the monsters that you see in the movies, the recent movies right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, and there's rumor that there's going to be a part 2.
What is this now?
Justice League versus
Oh,
Godzilla
yeah,
versus
yeah.
Kong.
There is a part 2 actually.
There is a
Is
part
there?
2.
The,
It's not rumored. It was officially announced.
Yeah, I think League has it coming out in March, I believe.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. No, it's super fun.
Great book.
It's also cool to see like the villains in the book
Yeah.
too.
Because it's like you almost don't know who to root for.
No,
A little
no.
bit.
Yeah.
But again, excellent book. I
Oh,
suggest it to anybody. And it's actually one of the first books when it was in single issue that I know of that did a voice or did like a sound when you
Oh,
looked it
yeah.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if you bought the Kong version, it had King
Yep.
Kong roaring. If you bought the Godzilla, it had the Godzilla roar.
If you bought the Batman one, it said
Martha!
Yeah.
Martha!
Yeah.
But no, the curious thing too is this is how cool the Godzilla franchise is. I think this year's gonna be the first time I've ever seen in history where like Godzilla's gonna be fighting DC characters in a book, and then Marvel's gonna be doing their own Godzilla books.
Yep.
Like I think they've announced Godzilla versus Fantastic Four.
Yep.
That Scotty Young cover looks great.
Yes,
for that.
it does.
It really does.
Yeah, but Godzilla is
And I love that all the monsters right now are getting love. Like Godzilla, Predator, Alien,
Yeah.
like all these sci-fi monsters are getting love, and they're kind of coming back in a strong way, and I love it.
strong way. All right.
Very strong way. All right, Ryan, what's next?
For me, this is an Image book. My favorite independent book of the year.
We're going to team up on this one.
I don't want to team up.
No, man, just let it go, man. Let it go.
And this is by our friend Jerry
Jerry Dugan.
I was sold on this by the title alone, "Falling in Love on the Path to Hell." Now, the first cover, this is a reprint, but the first issue, the cover looked like a Star Wars poster.
It was a Star Wars homage.
It truly was. Basically, the story is it takes place at the end of the samurai time and the gunslinger time, which is around the end of the 18th century, where a samurai girl and a cowboy both die almost at the same time, and they wash up on. It could be limbo. They're still kind of playing where it could be.
I take it kind of more like a purgatory type deal.
Yeah, so they're now having to battle like not only the creatures that are in this world they found themselves on the shore of, but also other people that have washed up here. Each issue has done a phenomenal job of like building this universe. Each issue has been great.
Oh yes,
It's a horror story. It's a romance story. It's everything I think you want right now. It's the freshest idea I think I've seen in a comic book recently, except for maybe Josh's next book. But yeah, Falling in Love on the Path to Hell. I think the first trade is either out or
it's
about
coming
to come
out like next week or the week
Okay,
after.
'cause they're gonna
It comes out within the next 2 weeks.
They're doing the same pause where I think they did 6 issues. They're going to take a break for a couple of months and then come out with even the Frank Miller variant's not
The
that
Frank
bad.
Miller
it's really
variant
not.
is pretty
And that's
good.
saying a lot,
actually.
'cause-
Yeah, but super good book if you're looking for something
Yeah,
different.
so guys, that is actually I'm going to tell you what my number 1 book is, but that is my favorite book. I tried to put it on here, but Josh said, no, you can't have the same book as Shipley. And I'm like,
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, dibs.
But guys,
motherfucker.
like seriously, I love this book.
Yeah.
I am for
You should
those
put it
of
on your
you.
list then if you love it.
Yeah.
I try to.
Yeah.
I tried to. But guys, if you know me, you know Seven Samurai is my favorite movie of all time. This totally encapsulates
I knew you.
part of that, and
Okay.
you know,
What's your next book,
I love
though?
it.
Yeah.
My next book is Daredevil.
Okay.
I love how he
Because-
went to slam it
Yeah.
and just stop.
And he's like, I don't want to break this.
Whoa!
Granny
So-
Jazz already spent all that money on that
Obviously.
Metamorpho book.
Fuck that book. But for obviously everyone knows me as the Daredevil shill, so allow me to shill for Daredevil for a few minutes here. So this is the run that is taking place right after the Chip Zdarsky Marco Cicchetto run. This run is great. I didn't really know what to expect, especially coming off of the Zdarsky run, because the Zdarsky run was so phenomenal. So basically, this one takes place immediately after that run. So Matt is now back from hell. He's come back from hell, and he's now a Catholic priest. So this one really, really lays into a lot of Matt's Catholicism.
Okay.
And a lot of his friends that he brought back from hell and saved from hell are actually now possessed. So he's a priest who has to free these people from possession. There's an issue where he frees Kingpin because Kingpin's possessed, and that was a wild freaking issue. So yeah, if you're a Daredevil fan, I can talk forever about Daredevil. If you guys are a Daredevil fan, definitely check this one out. Also, if you didn't read the Chip Zdarsky run, you should, but this also does do a really good job at catching you up on what's been going on. So, Daredevil by Saladin Ahmed and Aaron Cooter on the art. So, phenomenal Daredevil book. Definitely check it out if you are a Daredevil fan like myself.
I'm curious to check it out. I'm almost finished with Chip Zdarsky's run.
So
and I was
good.
kind of surprised because I didn't know how you're going to like match Chip Zdarsky's run on the book, but it's good
Yeah,
to see this.
it's the reason that I'm saying it's doing well is because it's paying homage to what happened. It's not disregarding
Yeah.
everything that happened in that run.
Yep.
Everything that happened in that run is still canon.
Yep.
So that's why I like it.
Gotcha. All right, guys. Next book, number 3. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees.
So good.
Such a good book.
I have not read this book.
Oh, you
what
fool.
are you doing?
I just haven't had time.
Silly God.
I haven't had time.
Set the concept up.
Oh man, Winnie the Pooh meets Dexter.
Yep.
That's the best way I can put it.
Yep.
Wow. Like it's one of those books where I was reading it and I went into single issues and I literally it was like an addiction. Like I was like, when's that Beneath the Trees number 2 coming out? And I was like scratching everything. But no, it's so heartwarming, but at the same time terrifying.
Yeah.
Like it's just like it makes you feel warm and cozy.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this is fun. And then it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
what
What
is
you
happening?
in with all the art looks like those Richard Scarry books, with the worm in that's driving the Apple car.
Yeah.
It's got that cute, wholesome art.
Like, and you're like,
then you realize, oh wait, no, this bear is a serial killer.
this bear is literally murdering people.
Yeah.
But in the ending of it,
The ending is phenomenal.
the ending, in my opinion, right now, the ending in this book is probably one of the best endings in any book in 2020.
Yeah, and this was like maybe one of, as far as indie books go, one of the biggest success stories of 2024 because that first issue, that price skyrocketed.
Immediately, and then it just.
I got lucky because I saw that cover and the concept, and I bought the first.
Yeah,
issue.
I mean, but I don't. It's like it's just
Phenomenal.
like here. Right, finally, murder and forensics are adorable. Like who?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's really
that's
nothing
funny.
can prepare you for this book. It is intense. Every episode. Like I want to show. That's how bad I want. Like, every issue just left me on the edge of my seat, and then the ending it couldn't have ended more perfect.
And we're getting a sequel.
Are we getting a sequel?
You don't know this. You're learning a lot of stuff today.
Like 2025, folks.
Yeah.
Hold on your butts.
I gotta
Yeah.
read it. Looks like I gotta read it.
What's the book called again? The full title?
Beneath the trees where nobody sees.
Because I want to find what it's. I want to make sure I'm right.
Yeah, don't get me excited, and then you spreading damn dirty lies over there.
I'm not. That's. Yeah. It's officially getting a sequel. It's going to be called a Rite of Spring.
Okay.
Yep. I think it is going to be this year. Awesome. Yep. Yeah, where nobody sees Beneath the Trees, where nobody sees Rite of Spring. So that should be coming 2025. Yeah. I was so worried. It's like I can't.
Yeah. I was literally Mac's not big enough to hold me from jumping over.
Yeah.
So, but no, guys, check it out. It's a great read.
All right. So this is, I think, my only DC book on this list. So not to say DC's had a bad year. There's so like we don't even have Uncanny X-Men on this list, and that's been a great book too.
That's been an amazing one.
Yeah. But Absolute Batman is number 2 for me. Here's the thing: I can admit when I'm wrong. When I first saw the bat symbol, I clowned on it. I said it's absolutely sad.
Do you remember what I told you, Ryan?
He's the Batman who tries too
Do
hard.
you remember what I told you,
What
Ryan?
did you tell me?
I told you wait and see.
Okay.
I said wait and
Okay.
see. Wait and see, Ryan. And you
Okay.
were like, and I was like, ha.
So Josh's impersonation is you bend over. And
Yeah,
then mine is, okay. But this book has been phenomenal. Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta have been doing some amazing work. Another thing is I know both of them are going to be at Orlando this year, and you can get come in here and we can get signatures. Yeah.
We if you want in your Absolute Batman, hell, Beneath the Trees, anything like that. If you want that signed, bring it in. We're going to MegaCon. We can get those signed for you. So this,
but what I like about this book a lot is it tweaks it. It doesn't completely change everything. I mean, obviously, this Batman doesn't have the money, but he still gets all the toys.
He still gets
all the toys he wants. But I like the art is fantastic. The story is good. It's properly evil villains. Like, it's so crazy. So messed up the things they're doing. And it's like, how is Scott Snyder going to top that when he gets to the Joker?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is Scott Snyder. It's a phenomenal book. I'm curious to see this. I think the 3rd issue is probably my favorite of the first 3. Like, I feel like that's the one where it really starts to branch everything out. It's like, it's got all the setup and the toys and the places it needs to be.
Yeah.
Such a fantastic book.
Yeah, Absolute Batman is awesome. I've also been really enjoying that. Of course, Scott Snyder's one of my favorite writers.
Okay. Yeah.
So, enough good things cannot be said about all of the Absolute books, I would say.
Yeah. They're probably going to be on my list for 2020.
Yeah, probably.
2024 best book
Yeah.
of the year.
What's your next book?
My next book is a little book called Avengers Twilight. This is a
thrilling, dark,
what's it say?
new vision of the
A
Avengers.
thrillingly dark new vision of the Avengers. Yeah, this is Chip Zdarsky and Daniel Acuna, and this book is freaking awesome.
Hakuna Matata.
Is Hakuna Matata. Yeah, this book is freaking awesome. It takes place in the future. I honestly really don't want to tell you too much because I just want you to read it. I don't want to spoil it, really. I really don't. I enjoyed the hell out of this book. The art is phenomenal. Chip Zdarsky does a really great job at crafting a world in the Marvel Universe that has essentially gone to shit. There's a lot of really cool twists and turns that this book takes that you're not going to expect. So if you are a fan of the Avengers, if you're a fan of Captain America, if you're a fan of those...
The Dark Knight.
Of the, of just those, like, kind of like, almost like those Elseworlds tales, this is definitely a must-read.
Yep.
So, like I said, I'm not going to say too much. I do not want to spoil it.
Yeah, and you get it in singles, really gorgeous Alex Ross.
Oh,
Yeah.
the singles
very, very
all
nice.
have the Alex Ross covers. Good luck on finding those. Kind of hard to find now.
Be more encouraging.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, they're kind of hard
If you
to
think
find.
you're going to find them, fuck you.
They're kind of hard to find now.
All right, guys. So this was really hard for me for this second one because it was going to be my first. It's actually one of the best books I have ever read.
Yeah.
The Deviant.
That's so good.
James Tinian, he's done World Tree, Some Kill the Children. This is the best book I have ever read.
Yeah.
In comic format.
I honestly cannot wait to read this as a complete story.
Man, like, it's as a individual who loves like scary novels and things like that. This right here is for every book. I mean, I've never felt such like. There's one part in this book where the tension, like, just I literally was scared for the person in the book. Like, I was like, I'm just the reader. And, and this is just book one. The final issue was supposed to come out because it's about a killer Santa Claus.
Yeah.
The final issue was supposed to come out on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Which they pushed it back to February, and I'm chomping at the
Seems
bit.
like a missed opportunity. Really does.
Yeah. But I'm okay with it. Let the artist cook.
Yeah,
Let 'em
man.
cook,
If
let 'em
it's just one more issue left.
Yeah.
And it's honestly like I cannot think of a better book that I have read in the past 5 years.
Yeah.
Probably that tops this.
Yeah.
Like this.
The tension is
the
crazy.
tension's great. The story's great. Everything about this book. There's nothing negative about this book.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with this book.
The serial killer, the look of the killer is like iconic. I think.
Yeah.
It looks super cool. I think this is going to make a good movie one day.
I hope so. Man, I hope so.
There's like that. So what hooked me on that one? I'm a few issues behind.
You fool.
But the first issue when they find that first victim.
Yeah.
In the where he's like tangled up in the Christmas tree lights. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, guys, if you have not picked up and read The Deviant, please, like I implore
I'm
you,
really
please
excited.
come and get this book.
I'm really
Read
excited
it.
for when they put it in like a big collected edition.
Yeah. Because I think it's 7 issues, or is it 9? Is it 9?
I think it's 9, but like I said, this is just book 1. There's going to be a second book coming out.
Yeah.
Man, I literally can't say it.
It's perfect. Yeah, he's
it's a perfect book.
It's great.
If you're a horror novel fan and you just love just a good story that's going to just instill fear in you as you read it, this is it.
All right.
Great.
Number 1, if you know me at all, you are a fool if you don't know this is going to be good. Nobody even asked if they could take it.
No, we
didn't. We didn't even attempt
Ultimate
to.
Spider-Man. So I've been really hard on Marvel and the way they've treated Spider-Man for the last couple of years. They won't let him grow. He's stuck in the same kind of circular fashion. He can't have a relationship with Mary Jane. I don't ever understand where they go, well, he won't be relatable anymore. It's like he fights like people dressed as rhinos and octopuses.
Yeah.
How relatable is he that way? But what Jonathan Hickman's done here is he's taken it to where it's a Peter Parker in his mid to late 30s who first gets the spider. He knows something's missing in his life. He's married to Mary Jane. They have 2 kids. And it's a wonderful book. The one thing I'm really curious to see is, like, right now, the book is done monthly in real time. Like, each issue is a month. I'm curious to see once they do get to the inevitability of the maker getting out and what happens there, if they're going to continue to be, like, one issue is going to be monthly, or if they're going to kind of cut that back down to, like, a normal comic book.
Yeah.
I can tell you the 12th issue of this book
hold on.
had
Hold
the
on to your
biggest
butts.
cliffhanger of the year so far as the book goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on to your butts.
It made me mad that I couldn't just read the next issue.
Yeah, immediately.
It's phenomenal. Everything. I'm just going to tell one thing to kind of tell you how they tweak it. So in issue 8 or 9, Jonah and Ben Parker decide we need an alias if we're going to tell this story about Kingpin, so that way we can be safe and protect our sources. So the alias they come up with, the name is Ben Reilly.
Yeah,
It's just
Great.
fantastic.
It's fantastic.
But this is I love this book, and another great run of a book for Marco Cicchetto.
Yeah.
Marco Cicchetto's knocking it out of the
Killing
park
it.
with art
and,
right now.
And I'll say, and I also like the fact that it blows my mind that the ongoing regular Spider-Man right now. It's just, I don't understand.
So bad.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
And then did you hear about the new Venom theory? I might flip this table over.
No, I don't. We'll save it for after the show because
Okay,
I hear this
that's
one
fine.
will be mad.
Yeah, I want to hear this
Yeah.
too.
But Matt,
Yeah, so my number 1 book that isn't Falling in Love on the Path to Hell is Dawn Runner.
Okay.
So Dawn Runner is another kind of like post-apocalyptic, but see, here's the thing with this one. This one is basically, if you like giant robots and kaiju, this is the book for you. This is Evan Cagle and Ram V writing, and oh my god, you guys, this was literally one of my favorite books this year. I could not get enough of this book, and I'm so happy that it's in this big collected edition now. But yeah, so basically, in the story, these portals start opening up all around the globe, and these kaiju-like creatures start emerging out of these portals and just fucking shit up. So the humans have to basically come up with a way to combat these kaiju-like creatures. So they come up with their, what they call Dawn Runners, or yeah, there's another name for them, but the one that's supposed to, and they've had many failed attempts, but the reason this is called Dawn Runner is because in this book they create the ultimate, they're basically trying to create the ultimate way to kill these kaiju, and this is the ultimate robot, and how they go upon choosing the pilot for this mech is just amazing. This book literally has you on the edge of your seat. This book made me cry. This book, I've never had a sci-fi book this ridiculous that has hit every single note for me. Like, it's heartwarming, it's action-packed, and it's everything I wanted in like a sci-fi epic.
I'm going to borrow it from you.
Do it.
That seemed way
he was
more
like,
aggressive.
he looked at, he was like, and I'm going to take it from you.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually not my copy, but
Okay. Yeah.
It doesn't matter whose copy it is. No, okay. Anyways, guys.
Well, read it.
So I've talked about him all year. I have praised him all year.
Yep.
I have told y'all to pick it up.
He
Spider
kisses
Boy.
the throne that he sits on.
Yes. Spider Boy.
Spider Boy.
Spider Boy, Spider Boy, Spider Boy, Spider Boy.
Did you imagine when you first heard the concept of Spider Boy that you were going to love it as much
No.
as you did?
No.
Okay.
Because like I said, like I just said, I was reading Amazing, and I was like, bleh.
And amazing is
Yeah.
anything
And
but amazing.
And I was like, you know what? New character. I'm
Yeah.
gonna try him out, give him a chance.
Yep.
And wow.
Yeah.
He's and I've said it multiple times on the show. Spider Boy takes Spider-Man in general back to basics.
Yeah.
It's just about a kid in school trying to survive the day and trying to figure out how to be a hero.
Yeah.
And that's it. He has the jokes, he has the quips,
Yeah.
and it's just it.
He's building a cool rogues gallery
Man,
of his
it's
own.
and his powers.
Okay.
And he has. I mean, if you don't know, if he gets the angrier he gets, he turns into an actual spider.
And he can bite.
And he bites as poisonous. His bites.
Yeah, his bites
Yeah.
are poisonous. I
So,
think that's cool.
Yeah, but it's really I cannot praise it enough. Spider Boy really it's good for all ages. It's fun. It's entertaining. Guys, it's still ongoing. We have Volume 1 and Volume 2. I'm really excited to see where they take Spider-Man.
And it's crazy. I think a lot of people just aren't reading it because they don't understand that the concept would be good.
Yeah.
Because I remember like the key issues with the first appearance of Spider Girl. We still have some of those left. Yeah.
But like I said, I think that's the main, people just don't understand just the concept behind it. and everything. But guys, I mean, I promise you won't be disappointed.
Go to your store and get
Go
it.
to your store and get it. Like just
At least try the first trade.
try the first trade. It's so.
If you don't
good.
like it, Mac will buy it.
He will. He will reimburse you.
Yeah.
We have given permission right here on screen.
Yep.
Nope.
Hope you get a bonus this year,
Yeah.
man.
Nope.
But no, y'all seriously, y'all will enjoy it. I'm really excited to see how much further they take him and what they do with him. His rogues galleries is insane, fun. There's really nothing negative I could say about it. And if you enjoy Miles and if you enjoy Spider-Man, they're still in this book.
Yeah.
It's just not about Spider-Boy. It's just about the overall encompassing just Spider-Verse kind of.
And it's Dan Slott
Dan,
and Paco Medina.
Yep, Dan Slott, yep. But yeah, that's my number one pick for the year, guys, and it's still going hot in 2024.
Super good year.
Super great year. I mean,
and 2025 is only going to be bigger.
there's books we didn't even catch on that.
Yeah.
Absolute,
That are just
absolute
amazing.
Superman,
All the absolute
Wonder Woman.
books, Uncanny.
Uncanny. I mean,
It's a big year.
It's a huge
my
year.
favorite book that I didn't, fall
Would you
in
drop
love
it?
on
Would you
the-
just get over it?
Get over it.
It's such a good book.
But
like,
yeah, but
I mean, they're all great.
But
They're
we'll
all
be
great.
back in 2 weeks, hopefully with better books. For
Hopefully
you.
Yeah,
better
hopefully
books.
with better books. So yeah,
yeah.
next week, like I said, we are taking a week off
Yeah.
for the show, even
Yeah.
though there is a new Daredevil issue.
Basically,
that
we're
comes
taking a
out.
week off from you. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
that's it, yeah.
Even though
Yeah.
there is a new Daredevil
Hopefully,
issue.
Grant
that-
gets it. For
hopefully
you.
I
Yeah.
get it this week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hopefully
but
I get
guys,
it. We'll see.
It's been a fun 2024,
Yeah.
and we will see y'all in
Yeah,
2025.
And please,
we'll see you
in your comment section, put what you thought your favorite book
Yes,
was.
Yeah,
please,
I
let
made
us know what you
I made
enjoy
a
reading.
post earlier, so let us know what you guys enjoyed. I know one person reached out to me, Garrett. He said he really has been enjoying he said Transformers and he said The Deviant.
Yeah.
So
Good taste, Garrett.
Yeah.
Garrett.
yeah, Garrett. I think that's what he said.
Well,
It
we
was-
just lost a follower.
It was Transformers and it was Transformers and it was either The Deviant
Right
or
now,
something
Grant's
else.
screaming at the front.
Yeah.
But we'll see you guys.
Guys, we'll
next
see y'all
year.
We'll
next
see
year,
y'all
2025.
next year. Like I said, no show next week, but we'll
Peace.
see you in 2 weeks.
Stay classy, Knoxville.
classy.
Stay classy,
Keep it as your New
Knoxville.
Year's resolution to stay classy.
My New Year's resolution is to get Daredevil books.